Welcome to Master 2255 English Phrasal Verbs, complete course with 150 categories for fluency. This course is your comprehensive guide to mastering English phrasal verbs. Today, we're exploring the 55th category, resolving personal conflicts with phrasal verbs. Sound natural. These verbs are essential for navigating disagreements and repairing relationships. Let's dive in. First, let's begin with make up. This phrasal verb means to reconcile or restore a relationship after a disagreement. For example, they had a fight but made up the next day, or let's make up and move past this argument. Next is break up. This refers to ending a romantic relationship. You might say, they broke up after years of being together, or the constant arguments led them to break up. Get over describes recovering emotionally from a breakup or conflict. For instance, it took her a while to get over the breakup, or he's trying to get over the argument with his friend. Fallout means to have a disagreement that damages a relationship. You could say, they fell out over a financial issue, or I hope we don't fall out over this minor misunderstanding. Patch up refers to fixing or mending a damaged relationship. For example, they patched up their friendship after a long talk, or he tried to patch things up with his colleague. Work through describes addressing and resolving a conflict or problem. You might hear they worked through their issues with open communication, or we need to work through these differences. Talk over means to discuss a problem to find a resolution. For instance, they talked over their concerns and came to an agreement, or let's talk over what happened and clear the air. Back down refers to withdrawing from a position or stance in an argument. You could say, he refused to back down during the debate, or she eventually backed down and apologized. Hold back describes restraining your emotions or words during a conflict. For example, he held back his anger to avoid escalating the situation, or don't hold back. Tell me how you really feel. Come up with refers to finding a solution or idea to resolve a conflict. You might say, she came up with a compromise to satisfy both parties, or let's come up with a plan to avoid this issue in the future. Smooth over means to reduce tension or resolve minor issues. For instance, she smoothed over the disagreement by clarifying her intentions, or they're trying to smooth over their recent conflicts. Own up to describes admitting a mistake or wrongdoing. You could say, he owned up to forgetting the deadline, or it's important to own up to your actions in a relationship. Walk away means to leave a situation or conflict instead of engaging further. For example, sometimes it's best to walk away from a heated argument, or she walked away to avoid saying something she'd regret. Bring up refers to mentioning or introducing a topic for discussion. You might hear he brought up the issue during their conversation, or it wasn't the right time to bring up that subject. Finally, let go of means to release or move on from resentment or grudges. For instance, she let go of her anger and forgave him, or it's time to let go of the past and move forward. These phrasal verbs are incredibly useful for discussing and resolving personal conflicts naturally. Practice using them in scenarios involving disagreements or reconciliation, and they'll soon feel like second nature. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.